Chapter 50. Escaping Again. The crowd couldn't help but marvel at Kang Chon's natural talent as they watched from afar, not daring to come forward to disturb him. After all, Kang Chon's strength was there, apart from the strongest of the Jiden stage. I'm afraid he was already invincible in Heavy Iron City. In between the thoughts of the crowd, the surrounding heaven and earth aura was in a state of disorder. Like a flood that had broken the embankment, all of them converged towards Kang Chon, who was sitting on the ground. This terrifying scene was discovered by several experts in the crowd, causing them to be shocked beyond measure. Along with the convergence of these heaven and earth auras, the place where Kang Chon was became a vortex of auras, and he himself was the black hole, devouring these auras that swarmed to him. Star-absorbing technique. Suddenly, Kang Chon, who was sitting on the ground, violently opened his eyes, and a purple rays of light came out, appearing nothing less than brilliant in the night sky, causing a crowd of people in the distance to exclaim. As soon as the star-absorbing grand technique came out, Kang Chon's speed of devouring these auras accelerated. As if his body was a pumping machine, he rapidly absorbed these auras before turning them into true chi and surging them to his dantian. Boom! As if a gate had been shattered, Kang Chon suddenly stood up, the purple light in his eyes flourished. A burst of thick and unparalleled true chi scattering out from him as the center of his majestic aura. 9th level of foundation establishment. This was an incomparable aura that only existed at the 9th level of foundation establishment, and those watching from afar were incomparably shocked. A breakthrough. Someone looked at the heavens in disbelief. 9th level of foundation establishment. Some experts looked at the imposing Kang Chon in the distance in a daze, their eyes filled with shock. People are more imposing than people. Brother, better go back and wash up. Some of the saucy ones suffered blows one after another and hurriedly went back to sleep. Suddenly, there was a breaking sound that came violently from the direction of the mountain behind the royal residence. The crowd couldn't help but look and was shocked, only to see the night sky. A green light came. That green light on top of a pale figure stood. Is not precisely Lin Beishan. Kang Chon also immediately discovered the Lin Beishan who came, and his eyes stared coldly, and his weariness was rushing to the sky. The moon is dark and the wind is high. It is the night of killing. Lin Beishan stepped on the flying sword, like a sharp arrow coming, leaving a green rainbow in the night sky. Very gorgeous. When the crowd saw him arrive, they couldn't help but sigh slightly. I'm afraid that Kang Chon will have no way of escaping this time. Although Kang Chon's strength was already very strong, the invincible Jiden would always be a huge mountain, pressing down on the cultivators of Heavy Iron City, and they did not think that Kang Chon would be able to blast through this huge mountain. Even in this empty place, Kang Chon had lost even the chance to escape. Swish, however, in a moment, a long rainbow descended, and Lin Beishan stood proudly in the air with his feet on a flying sword and his hands behind his back. He swept his gaze around, and his eyes couldn't help but shrink slightly when he saw the messy royal mansion. What a ruthless brat! Lin Beishan was shocked when he saw the corpses all over the Wong mansion, and at the same time, he was somewhat glad that this kid chose the Wong mansion. If it was their Lin family, I'm afraid that they would end up in the same situation. Thinking of this, Lin Beishan's eyes burst with killing intent. This kid absolutely can't stay. Otherwise, the Lin family will sooner or later end up in the same situation. Along with Lin Beishan's killing intent rising, an unrivaled Jiden stage pressure rumbled down, suppressing towards Kang Chon below. Instantly, Kang Chon felt a titanic aura come over him. So strong, worthy of being a Jiden stage powerhouse, but if you want to rely on your might to shock me, then you're underestimating me, Kang Chon. Kang Chon's eyes stared. Lin Beishan's mighty pressure was very powerful. If it was a normal 9th level, Foundation Establishment Cultivator. I'm afraid that he wouldn't be able to bring up the desire to make a move in front of him. However, he was not afraid, knowing that the Li family's 7th eldest pressure had not even shaken him back then, let alone Lin Beishan, someone who had only broken through the Jiden stage not long ago. With the Kangtian hegemony blood and having comprehended the essence of the hegemony fist, Kangtian had a great immunity to Qi pressure. At least the pressure of the Jiden stage was useless to him. As expected, under this horrible pressure, Kangtian still did not change his face. His eyes indifferently looked at Lin Beishan in midair. This kid. Lin Beishan was slightly surprised. His own mighty pressure unexpectedly did not work on him. No wonder Wang Chon was killed by him so quickly. It seems that this time we must get rid of him, or else there will be endless troubles. Between thoughts, Lin Beishan continued to enhance his mighty pressure. His terrifying aura scattered out. Even the crowd watching the battle from afar retreated. The crowd looked at Kangtian, who was standing in the middle of the field with horror. They couldn't even endure Lin Beishan's mighty pressure from so far away. And as Lin Beishan's main caretaker, Kangtian didn't even have the slightest expression on his face, and didn't seem to be affected by anything at all. This was genius. The crowd couldn't help but sigh, and they couldn't help but have a hint of doubt as to whether Lin Beishan would be able to kill Kangtian this time. In the sky, Lin Beishan's face was also becoming more and more gloomy. His own aura had been raised to the limit. But Kangtian still didn't change his face, causing him to suffer a great blow. This scene was noticed by Kangtian below, and the corners of the latter's mouth couldn't help but pull up a mocking smile. Is this the strength of the Jiden stage? Lin Beishan, you disappoint me too much. A sneer came out from Kangtian's mouth as his eyes looked straight at Lin Beishan, his battle intent surging to the heavens. The crowd in the distance were all shocked when they heard this. What a big mouth, what a big courage, what a big guts. In the entire Heavy Iron City, only this youth in front of him dared to talk to the Jiden stage Lin Beishan like this. Lin Beishan was stunned. Then he burst into a rage. He was actually underestimated by a junior brat. This was simply a heavenly disgrace. Kid, since you are so eager to find death, I will fulfill you. Lin Beishan sank his face and slowly raised a hand. His thumb was bent and his 4 fingers were straightened as if it was a knife. Under the infusion of true essence, it unexpectedly shot out a brilliant blade aura. When the distant spectators saw this scene, they could not help but envy it. Foundation Establishment stage cultivators could only condense blade chi. Only Jiden stage cultivators could condense blade ons. This was because Jiden stage cultivators had already refined the true Qi in their bodies into true essence. And true essence was far superior to true Qi in terms of both attacking power and defense. This was the reason why the difference between Foundation Establishment stage cultivators and Jiden stage cultivators was so great. Kangtian has the Dan Emperor in. For this reasoning is naturally very clear. At this moment see Lin Beishan's hand ******* out of the blade onings. Immediately hold his breath and gaze. Do not dare to have the slightest carelessness. At the same time, Kangtian's body of the 9th level of Foundation Establishment, that thick true Qi was also quickly mobilized, ready to explode at any time. Kid, old me will now show you the power of a Jiden stage cultivator. Lin Beishan laughed fiercely as his palms emitted a dazzling white light under the infusion of true essence. Lin Beishan deliberately raised his palm slowly, not rushing to attack Kangtian below, obviously wanting to use this to create a sense of psychological oppression on Kangtian, so that he would slowly succumb. How could Kangtian not know Lin Beishan's intentions? He let out a cold laugh in his heart. A matchless battle intent shot straight up into the clouds, arrogantly coldly staring at Lin Beishan. Seek death. Kangtian's provocation finally angered Lin Beishan. He raised his palm towards Kangtian and swiftly chopped down. Unrivaled true essence immediately gushed out. forming a 3-zhong long blade-on that crossed the void, as if it was divine punishment. The blade-on was brilliant and dazzling. The piercing white light turned the dark sky into daytime, causing the crowd watching the battle from afar to burst into an uproar. Truly worthy of being a Jidan stage powerhouse, this blade could completely kill a 9th level Foundation Establishment powerhouse in seconds. I wonder if Kangchon could receive it. The crowd's gazes couldn't help but converge towards where Kangchon was. Overlord Fist. As the gazes of the crowd looked over, a shocking cry came out from Kangchon's mouth. His entire body's true chi erupted, like a river and ocean rolling up the giant wolves in the sky, and blasted out along with his fist. Boom! In the sky, a purple fist clashed with the blade on. The momentum is good, but unfortunately, the difference in strength is too great. Lin Beishan, who was standing on top of the flying sword, smiled disdainfully. As his words fell, the astonishing blade aura instantly crushed the purple fist, and continued to slash down towards the Kangchon, surprisingly without any consumption and still powerful. The distant crowd couldn't help but sigh. The gap between the strength of both sides was still too great. This time Kangchon was afraid that he would die for sure. In the people's sighs, Kangchon in the center of the blade, but his face did not change. He swung his fist up, and once again blasted out a number of punches. The power of one punch is stronger than the other, and met the blade to collide with the blade. After Kangchon's 10 or so punches, the blade-ons in the sky finally dimmed a bit, but they were still chopping down towards Kangchon, and Kangchon didn't have time to attack again. The gazes of the crowd converged once again as they wondered if this blade would be able to slice Kangchon to death. Rumble! The blade struck Kangchon, erupting a blinding white light that swept across the entire space. Immediately after, a roaring sound rang out, and the terrifying true chi storm swept up countless dust and smoke, making it impossible to see the scene clearly. The crowd stared wide-eyed, eager to know the situation. Even Lin Beishan in the sky was no exception. He was certainly confident in his strike, but his intuition told him that Kangchon would not die how simply. Sure enough, after the smoke and dust in the sky dispersed, the gazes of everyone present stagnated as they looked with shock at Kangchon, who was still standing proudly in the middle of the field. At this moment, the clothes on Kangchon's body had already been shredded by the true chi, revealing a thick and muscular body that looked a bit wretched. However, no one present dared to mock him, because he had caught Lin Beishan's blow and was still unharmed. Who could catch a strike from a Jidan stage powerhouse without any injuries? Kangchon was the only one. This sun absolutely cannot be retained. In the sky, the killing intent in Lin Beishan's eyes skyrocketed once again. The seeing Kangchon's figure, the strength that Kangchon had displayed, had already terrified him. How long had it been since then Kangchon had actually grown to such a level? Admittedly, the strike just now Lin Beishan did not exert his full strength, but he expected that a peak 9th level Foundation Establishment powerhouse like Wang Tixiong would not be able to catch his move unharmed, but Kangchon did. This meant that Kangchon's current strength had already surpassed Wang Tixiong's. How long had it been? If a few more months passed, wouldn't he be no match even for him? Thinking of this, Lin Beishan's killing intent in his heart was undisguised and completely erupted out, his icy cold gaze staring down at Kangchon below, like a poisonous snake with a murderous aura. When the crowd watching the battle from afar saw Kangchon's figure, they couldn't help but feel a rush of blood boiling. Lin Beishan's blow was actually caught by him unharmed. This kind of strength was enough to boast the entire Heavy Iron City. The young generation was unrivaled, and even amongst the older generation, they couldn't find a few rivals. Undoubtedly, Kangchon became famous in one battle and shook the Heavy Iron City. No one dared to underestimate this miracle-creating youth anymore. He used his own strength to fight out the myth of genius. People sighed for a while, The talent that Kang Tian had revealed was just terrifying. They could imagine that as long as Kang Tian didn't die today, he would definitely become a big shot in the cultivation world in the future. However, as soon as they saw Lin Beishan with his feet on a flying sword in the sky, the crowd couldn't help but sigh slightly. With the former's character, he definitely wouldn't let Kang Tian grow up any longer. And I'm afraid that this time would be Kang Tian's last battle. Thinking of this, the crowd could not help but look sympathetically towards Kang Tian in the arena. At this moment, Kang Tian was patting the dust on his body and throwing away the tattered cloths hanging on his body, revealing a thick and sturdy muscle.